Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I am back and today we are streaming Rise of Insanity, and today I will make a whole walkthrough of this game and I will give you the solution of all of the puzzles and let you know what you need to move forward. And the game is a short game, so it takes about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours. I will try to skip a lot of documents. For instance, I won't be reading everything, and my goal is to make this through in about 1.5 hours. So let's do this. So Rise of Insanity, and here we go.
Keep calm, relax, and calm down. Calm all your senses. My name is Dr. Stephen Down. You are here because your disorders started to get out of control. You ceased to behave normally, and disturbing thoughts took control over you. You will undergo my original therapy. I will show you the film I created. At the end, you will tell me what feelings you have while watching it, and if you saw anything worrying.
Alright, so 3 minutes are gone. Actually 4, but we still can do this. Let me check, everything is working properly. I think it is, so
the patient's
here we go.
data. Edward, 41 years old, day September 1st. I know Edward as far back as I remember. He worked as a gardener in our neighborhood. From the preliminary interview, I got to know that he suffers from a dream disorder. He has constant nightmares and can't sleep well as a memory disorder. Sometimes he doesn't remember what happened a couple of days or hours ago. I have some suspicions connected with his case, but it's too early for the detailed diagnosis.
Those actually are collectibles. The last time I played I found a lot of them, but I don't know if I got all of them, and I didn't get any reward, so I will take a look to every drawer, for instance, or to every closet, because sometimes you'll find keys over there and you will need them to progress. The documents are not necessary for the story, so we don't have to read all of them, but we have to be watchful for the keys. And if you like the game, you should
mother and child were murdered.
take a look to the documents. The story is very well written, so you will. What's going on? Yeah, nothing here. So this is an indie game, as you know, so from times to times it glitches, and yeah, well, what I wanted to say, I don't know what I wanted to say, but alright, it's quite a good game. I liked it.
Honey, please turn off the TV. It's gonna be stormy.
At this point we will have to go back and turn off the TV, of course, but I would like to take a look to this. To these drawers, and I think that's it. We have it. So let's turn this off. Now you trigger the telephone.
Am I talking with Dr. Stephen Dowell?
And usually by answering the phone you will travel to another section, area,
Patient
dimension,
Edward 41.
reality.
Day, September 11th. Patient has told me about his dreams where he tries to murder his wife and child. As far as he said before, he's a bachelor, and he hasn't said anything about children. It could be some traumatic memory from his childhood. I have to get to know about it during our next meeting. It is a harder case than I expected. Some symptoms indicate that the patient can possess multiple personality. But these are only suspicions. I have to ask my friend, Abraham.
You will know from the story that this Stephen, I think, and Abraham are a couple of doctors making some kind of hypnosis treatment, and they are treating the gardener of one of them, Stephen, because he is like he has a double personality or split personality behavior. So they are treating him, and he's having this kind of funny dreams in which he kills his wife and child, but he doesn't have, in reality, he doesn't have any child and wife. So this is the first puzzle. Yeah, early today. Hey, ole. Yeah, the first puzzle is this lock in which you have some kind of code. So we will get the hint in a second. No, actually we have the hint here. A key to her heart is located where your journey began. So what does it mean? It means you have to go all the way to the back. All the way to the beginning of the level. Yeah, that's one of the scary jumps of the game. There are not a lot of scary jump scares, I know. Check eyesight room 6. Okay, once you read that note, you can open this door, which you couldn't before. And this is the sight check room. You will see here a lot of eyes, eye test and so on, and you have here the code 629. It took a while for me to discover it, but it's there, 629. Oh, it's only just 2 or 3 jump scares. It's not that scary. What was the number? 629. All right. 6, 2, 9, and that's it. So you will come here, and in order for you to trigger an event, you have to turn around, take a look of what you can get. So you have this candle, and you can read the report here. You will trigger the table. And you will trigger this change. And then you're back. Here you also have a hint of a bird and a gamepad. What does it mean? We will see in a second. Yeah, taking a look not to miss anything. And yeah, here you are a bird, and the gamepad meant you can control the bird, so it's no cinematic. You have to fly, which is not difficult. You just have to follow the path and follow the light, actually. Try not to get lost. You will eventually do it.
Honey, gain control over him, please.
And then you're back to reality. Well, everything is reality, actually. But I guess this is the past. So here you will have these doors closed, of course, with a lock. And you will have to find the key, if I remember correctly. Otherwise, you will have to find pliers. I think this time around it'll be the key. Rubber duck, not to forget. And you have the key. What you want to do is to go back, of course, and open those doors. Yeah, scary jump. They are not that scary. Actually, I don't know. It's not that scary, this game. It's only about it's like a walking simulator.
Daddy, play with me.
But it's a good indie game. So I'm not going to go into the story. Taylor Dowell is here, and
Daddy, why did you allow him?
the problem is that it's way too dark, so I don't see a lot here. We will get a flashlight a little bit later. And I think that's it. Let's go out. Yeah, that was it. So again, we answered the phone.
Daddy! He's here! He's back!
Tomorrow I will be streaming a second game, a second walkthrough, speed run, and a complete game. The game for tomorrow will be definitely scary. This one is quite okay. So yeah, just checking we don't miss a thing. Sometimes taking a look to a photo or to a document will trigger some kind of event. So that's why you have to check everything out. This time around you cannot go to the kitchen because it's way too dark. Here the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. You can't go upstairs either. Mrs. Dowell and so on. Yeah. You have here missing fuses. So if you open this door you can get to the basement. And you will have to walk through and find the fuses. They are here. Anyway. This is a puzzle for later. I will explain it when we trigger it. Just checking again that everything, that we don't miss anything here. Those are the fuses, alright. So we are almost ready to go back. It took a while for me to find the fuses the first time around. I was running around in circles and then I found them on that box, in that box. So now you have here a leak. I think it's just water, but anyway you can go through it. So that's the thing, that's here the puzzle. You can see this, how do you call it? I don't know, these openings, and you have some kind of white color in some of the handles. So the thing is, The hint is here. The horizontal ones, you have to align them to the inner side and to the outer side. Vertical ones. So vertical, to the outside and inside this one, and that's it. So you closed the water because it was way too dangerous for you to go through the water, and now we can go back. Once you know the solution, it doesn't take a lot of time to finish the game, I hope. Let's see. Alright, now you have light here. Again, checking out that we don't miss anything here. Even if it's a rubber duck, we will take it with us. And I don't think that's the case. So it looks like we have everything with us. So, let's go to the kitchen.
Patient Edward, 41. Taking some pieces of advice from my friend Abraham, I established that Eddie suffers from a very mild split personality disorder. The other personality hasn't shown yet, and hasn't taken him under control. There are only problems with memory and mild tics. I have to think about the kind of therapy I will apply.
Yeah, and he went for the wrong one, or the most dangerous one.
Hello? Steven? Are you here? Steven? It's Eddie.
Eddie. Show me the Eddies. Alright, 20 minutes. So, with that we will trigger this event, so we're back
Daddy,
at the
I'm
hospital.
lost. It was so sad. I lost my figurines. Please find them for me.
Oh yes, the figurines. So the figurines, yeah, there are 3 of them. You will have to find them. As far as I remember, they are not too hard to find, but not hard, but tricky. You will have to do what we have been doing during the stream. You will have to take a look. You will have to check every corner. You will get the hint with this small like pin. If you can take something, that's the first one. So here, this is the easy one. So you take the first one. And you move on. From time to time, this game is a little bit confusing, but it's not impossible to end. To finish. Well, so that was a speed run. I think we haven't left anything behind. I would like to go back. 25 minutes. The goal is to finish the game in 1.5 hours. Let's see. That would be my goal. The game takes normally 2.5 hours, about 2.5 hours. So this was the side room. Woman receives, yeah. Well, it's about a martyr, this game, so you will find some documents explaining the story, which is a little bit how do you say it? It's not a happy story.
Patient Eddie, 41. Day. Having acquainted with the traumatic Eddie's past life, violence in the family, and pathology, I've decided that I will use a less invasive method of treatment we can handle without hypnosis. The confrontation with the past and dreams connected with some mild anxiolytics should be enough. I think that finishing the dream, so killing the wife and child, can join his split selves. All we need to do is wait and observe.
Yeah, well, and spoiler alert. If you don't want to know, then you can skip. If you're watching the video live, I think. Edward was having these dreams. Here's the second figurine about killing his wife and child, and the treatment was hypnosis, yeah, but the suggestion from the doctor was to finish the dream, to continue dreaming, finish the dream, and to actually kill his wife and child, and that triggered some kind of behavior in Edward, and he became
Breaking news.
aggressive.
As the investigation has shown, the police have established that the brutal murder of the family of the famous doctor of psychology was caused by the local gardener, Edward S.
So who was this? The third figurine. That was quick. That was good. That was good. That's also cool. It's a good idea. It's kind of like The Shining. I like that part. Here I don't think you are in any kind of danger. I think you can fly the crowd, but you just have to fly through and that's it. Should do it. Here we are still flying. And we entered the home. 30 minutes. Oh. What the hell is this? Oh, the flashlight. So we are at the park again, and this time we will have a van and a ghost. So this side of the van you will find this hint. It means that by turning on the lights you will lose the ghost. Here you can open, we have nothing. And here you will see that this thing is broken. So we need to go back or to go further. deep in the park. This time we have this small place and we will find something here. Yeah, the tape. So it looks like we can fix or put together two cables. Without the tape, we have to use the tape. Well, there was a ghost over there, but we don't mind. It's alright. So we have basically three scenes. We have this park, the garden, which is probably the garden of the state, of the house. We have the house and we have the hospital, and that's it. So we need to trigger the phone again. Alright, here we are. So we have a mouse. Dead boy buried in the garden. And that'll do it. Yep. That'll do it. Trigger the phone.
Come for me, please. Mom is lying here. She is so cold.
Then we go back to the house. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? So now we have a wreckage here. We don't need the TV set. Oh. Alright. I didn't see that the first time around, but you get an achievement called the Ring. Well, nice detail. I like that. That's what I like horror games because they put so much effort in making these games. They take a lot of inspiration of a lot of sources. It's very peculiar of these games. Yeah, the basement is flooded, but really flooded, so you can't go back. Those are some boots. No more. And upstairs. Yeah, we have to go upstairs, I think. Let's check so we don't miss anything. I guess we have to go upstairs. We could go into that room. We need to get the rubber duck. So let's check. I don't have a script, so that's why I'm making this empirical speed run.
Patient. Date today is 28th of March. March. No. Weird case. Only Experimental methods. Only experimental. No. Why him? Why him? I don't know. Weird case. Weird case.
So we triggered already the phone. And let's go answer it.
On Monday, Eddie was born. On Friday, he had a family on his own. On Wednesday, his dreams did not allow him to sleep. So on Thursday day, he visited the doctor to confess so deep. On Friday night, he did what the doctor told him to do. On Saturday, he did not have his family. He did the do. Was right. Nightmares have gone.
Yeah, the nightmares were gone because he killed the family. So he was hired. Summarized, he was hired on a Monday. He killed the family on Friday, and by next week he was cured. He didn't have these nightmares anymore. This is a nice part. I really liked this section because it's a fresh change of environment. It's kind of like a dream or some kind of trip of Edward, and everything in white. I think it's cool. I liked it. It's a 180 change in the atmosphere of the game.
Gain control over you. Please.
Anyway, as far as I remember, we have to take a closer look. Sometimes, yes, we need to find these documents. Yeah, otherwise we cannot trigger the next event. I think it's a good game. Anyway, the developers could try something different. I don't think the game needs a sequel. Robert Duck? Robert the Duck. Look at this. This is so surreal that it's actually very cool. Here I think you can keep going over and over and over until you find the exit. Last time I think I turned around and then I was out. Now I kept going and I still was out, so...
Steven, can I get into the bathroom for a while?
Yes, of course. So this is the doctor's. Look at this, for instance. You will have to find these kind of small items hidden in the rooms. I don't think the game was difficult for me, but in case you are having troubles finding the items, I'm your man. That's what I'm here. So that key was, I don't know what was that key, but as we heard from our wife, we have to go to the bathroom. She is taking a bath this time, and this was kind of tricky last time. I will let you know why in a second. I think here somewhere. I could see, you see that? Like a pin. And it's a towel. So if you go back, or you go on to the bathroom, then she will ask for...
Bring me the towel from the bedroom. I forgot about it completely.
She will ask for a towel, and we already have it. So I don't know. Look at this. I think that was Robert the dog. I don't know if by coming here and having the wife asking to go for the bath, we can open the closet maybe. Yeah, but the pin was there, so last time and this time I took the towel before she asked for it, and we have it. There you go, honey. Gross. Now it's open. Telephone triggered.
I'm staying at my parents' house with Teddy tonight.
Yep, we'll answer. Back at the hospital. Dear Abraham, yeah, you will see a lot of these documents, and you will get a better idea of what's going on by reading all of them. But we have now 44 minutes, so 1.5 hours is the goal.
Research theme. The test of the therapy increasing the intelligence among children. The subject of the research, Theodore Dowell. The first attempts to increase IQ, I started using suggestion and manipulation method during REM sleep. The subject handled the experiment very well. I began the observation and started the manual visual tests phase.
Let me check if we have something here in the side room. And as I mentioned before, you see that I am taking a look to every single thing here, on a speed run anyway, because I don't have a script. So everything, I know the game, I played once, but I'm improvising anyway. that's more natural, I think. I don't want to have here beside me a notebook and checking out where do I have to go, which are the solution of the puzzles. So it's better that way, I think. However, I think we have reached one puzzle which might be difficult to solve. Now you have seen the bulb is broken, so we need to find a new one. This puzzle, it's about lighting up all of the candles at once. So I think it's going to be only try and error. You can reset all of them with the middle button, but you can keep doing it and you will do this eventually. Otherwise you can you can go back into the video and see what was the sequence I made, follow it, and you will eventually do it. Other way to do this is that you take a note which button lights up the candles and turn them off, and if you make these notes, then you will do it eventually, or try and error, you will make it. Alright, we have the bulb. So as usual, I like to see that we don't forget anything, and I think we're good. So we have it, and we can go back. So 50 minutes, and the goal is 1.5 hours, but we will finish the game anyway. Whatever it takes. As Imagine Dragons said, whatever it takes. What now? Damn it, I think this time we missed something. Oh no, it's open. Yeah, okay. We had to open this. Robert the dog. And we trigger the phone. It's basically like layers of fear. So we didn't answer the phone, but I think we moved on. And I think this is very beautiful. This is a very nice section. Oh, this is where we need the pliers. Yeah. So we need to go to the greenhouse again, and that's it. I mean, I wish this game were like this the whole time, or well, not the whole time because it's a horror game, but maybe from time to time to have this kind of environment would be great. So, well, the blighters are there. It's actually not a difficult game, but anyway, before you run around in circles, if you want to finish this one quickly, here are the answers. I'm here for you. I think we are already reaching the end of the game. I mean, the developers, they can do such things, so too bad that we are only at the hospital, in the house, and the garden. This is an extension of the garden, but a little bit more of this would have been really good. A little bit more of information. Yeah, by the way, you have to take this paddle, read the letter, and then you can sail. Here you just have to press forward and that'll be it. You can look around, but the scenery will change as you sail. It's not a bad game, not at all. The important part back there was the letter with some information about the mothers.
Therapy increasing the intelligence among children.
As well as this one. That's actually the same letter. Just in case, I suggest you to read it again. I mean, to take it if you decide if you want to read it or not.
The subject handled the experiment very well. I hereby open the trial against Edward about Susan Dowell. I hereby open the trial against Edward.
Yeah, you notice we came from this hallway, this is the trial room, and we have the door almost at our backs. So we need to go through the door and we will trigger the next section, which is the hospital. Oh, which is actually prison. Oh crap, I think, yeah, this was one. We have here one puzzle. There's the phone. We will have to come back here. This way once we solve this puzzle, but it was a little bit difficult. Let's see. Interrogation room. Interrogation room from the other side.
Good. So maybe you would tell us about your authorial therapy. What do you think, Mr. Dow? Can you hear me? It's better now, isn't it? So, can we continue? Great. Did you know that Susan Dow was pregnant?
Oh, yes. Now we know, actually. The wife of the doctor, in other words, Stephen's wife, was pregnant when she was killed by Edward, and she was pregnant with Edward's kid, so sick in any way. Now I'm moving very fast, so I hope I don't miss anything. Let's check here again. But I think... here. Robert the dog. That's it, so we are almost at this puzzle. This prison or a precinct, I don't know. This is the one. Yeah, so we have the hint here. And let's see if this time I can get it right. Right and fast. We have 57 minutes. That's a Morse code. And these are the directions. First you have to go right, left, right. Until one number. And the numbers are here. Three to 7. All right. Yeah, that was quick. And that was good. So, we had this box. Not here. An interrogation room, right? But not on the side of the interrogation, but in the observation room. Yeah, okay, so we opened the cells. We can answer the phone.
Listen, Bowman, give me some creeps, Doctor. I won't manage alone.
Give me some creeps. Creep. So that was the puzzle I was afraid of. So now it should be fine. Damn it, I see no shit. It's too dark. Alright, here.
I hereby open the trial against Edward about Susan Dowell and Theodore Dowell's murder. Do the prosecutor and counsel wish to say anything before the trial is started?
I would like to enclose the report about my client's insanity to the evidence, as well as recordings made by Dr. Dowell during the therapy.
Mr. Edward, could you tell us about the relation that was between you and Mrs. Susan Dow, Dr. Stephen Dow's wife, that tried to cure you? I would like to enclose documents from Susan Dow's autopsy to the evidence. Basing on these, Your Honor, as well as the jury can get to know that the victim was pregnant with the defendant.
Yeah, well, of course there was a trial because
I open the trial
Edward
against
killed
Stephen Dowell
2
about
people.
malpractice against Edward Hero, who caused Susan and Theodore Dowell's death. Does the prosecutor and counsel wish to say anything before the trial has started?
My client, as a doctor, always takes care about patients' welfare. In the enclosed evidence, Your Honor may read about many difficult cases that have been cured by the defendant. He was trying to cure his protege
So we
at any cost.
could
to ease
turn
the pain.
around our head as
I
if
would
we
like
were
to
an
enclose to the
owl.
evidence the description of one therapy conducted by the defendant, which, as we can read, also finished with a failure. The girl, with similar illness like Edward, who under the influence of the therapy made suicide.
And did the defendant realize that his wife was pregnant, not with him, but with Edward?
That's right. Alright. I wanna get out of here. Exactly. Oh, there was something here. Only to unlock. Here's the phone. Is this prison?
Steven, can I see you in my office?
Or is this a hospital? This place reminds me of one other hospital, the one in Vampire. It was also really cool.
How are you feeling today? Everything's okay? I think it's time to show you something.
How are you feeling?
Let's go
What
to
do
the
you
next
think?
room. Have a seat and make yourself comfortable.
Do we even have a shadow? No, we don't.
Our relationship started to pass away suddenly. Stephen treated me like a lodger, unwanted person, with whom he lived because it was a kind of interest. And I started to live on memories and projections that were so beautiful in my head, so perfect. Stephen was in them like
So
years
perfect.
before, like when we moved into our new house and we planned to make a big garden only for us. These memories made me stronger, helped me to survive and wait for tomorrow with hope. First time, I thought that maybe I'm only dreaming, or the projections about him became ridiculously strong. He came to me like before, smiling, happy, with sparkles in his eyes. Similar situations repeated in the next weeks, and I, instead of looking for their source, was waiting till my loving Stephen came back, just for a while, to feel like before, like years ago. At the beginning of our relationship, Stephen often told me about interesting things from the psychology ward. During his studies, he met with the case of a patient with multiple personalities. I remember well this case because it seemed to be very exciting. So many different personalities in one body that differ in IQ, beliefs, talents, and even visual acuity. I hid my husband's illness to meet with Eddie, his second personality, to feel happy just for a while, to fulfill my dreams. During our romance, we often met in the garden. Today, I again talked with Eddie. He is in very bad condition. Stephen's therapy started to even scare him, he says. He must make terrible things to be cured and finally take a breath. As a last resort, I will send this recording to Abraham.
Oh. I think we can't watch this again. We are in a totally different place now. Robert the dog. Totally different place. Very much like Layers of Fear. And the third installment is coming, so hands on. So we have to jump, actually. And I think that's it, you guys. So we've reached the end of the game. So I will pause the game because this song sounds to me like copyrighted. Oh, I got dizzy. Yeah, so alright. Yeah, I will. Yeah, that was it. So 1 hour and 8 minutes, that was the speed run of this game. Those were the solutions of all of the puzzles. I have no idea if this is only one ending. Twice I've finished the game and both times I got the same ending, so I think there's only one ending. So I hope you liked the video. I hope it helped. Maybe if you're stuck in some part, two of the puzzles are quite tricky. The first one with the lock with the 3 numbers, and the second one was almost at the end with the Morse code. And apart from that, you can finish this one yourself. So thanks a lot for watching. Tomorrow I will continue. I will make a second walkthrough of another short indie horror game, so I hope you are here also with us. So thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.